Yeah. Really? In my images, I photograph my siblings, and so already for me, it's kind of allowing them to see how I see them in this positive light. And I think it's very important because at the end of the day, these are young boys and girls, or women and men, that grow up into the world and have to kind of see how the world sees them and internalize that. And I think when the mind is free, then nothing physically can harm you or change how you think and feel about yourself. And so these images, I think, contribute a lot to that positive mind. The African culture, there are a lot of things that are expected of male, expected of female, and these things are internalized a lot. And growing up, as I explored, whether it be stories through reading books by Chimamanda, for example, I learned that there's a lot that kind of shifts in terms of, whether you grew up learning that, oh, men cook and women clean, whereas I grew up in a household where I was allowed to challenge those things. And so I think moving forward, I think there's a lot of just change happening in terms of what are the roles of women, what are the roles of men. And I hope that my work is able to contribute in the sense that it gives us an idea that there's not necessarily what men do and what women do, but a lot of these things are basic human skills, basic life skills that are necessary. And so I'm hoping that as we evolve, these are conversations that can be had and that can kind of also change. I think culture and tradition can be very rigid, but I think we're coming into a time where we can just kind of see how things fit into and what everyone is capable of, what everyone likes to do. Maybe I don't like to cook, and that's just what it is. So yeah, I'm just hoping that it kind of contributes in the sense that, yeah, you just do whatever works for you. Yeah. My work, in a sense, invites people in to imagine their own future. And a lot of imagination happens here while we're daydreaming or whatever. And so, also, the use of my glasses is to say, I don't necessarily see the future, and it's not necessarily here in my images, but you can go and sit with yourself, self introspect. What does that future look like for you? And I think that's what's necessary. I think we spend a lot of time having conversations with one another, but I think a lot of the important conversations also happen with yourself. And if yourself is able to shift into a different perspective, then that's how you'll be able to then share it with a community.